focusing on what is variable. What is variable? First of all, we have to discuss what is data type. Please try to understand what is variable. Suppose when you want to store any data, actually my name is Rajesh Babu. So whenever call anyone Rajesh Babu, I will give response to them. Suppose someone call Kishore, I won't give response because my name is Rajesh Babu. So as well as computer stores data. Computer stores bulk amount of data. So whenever if you want to store any data, if you want to call the data, definitely you have to call the data with the particular label. Such label is called variable. So what is the variable is nothing but, here variable is nothing but identifier. So when you want to identify the data, we have to use variable. So here what is variable? Variable is an identifier that can be store data in a particular location. So particular location is nothing but memory location. When you want to store data in a particular location is particular memory location, we have to use one variable. Variable is nothing but identifier. Here what are the identifiers? So A, B, C. So these all are the identifiers. Now, how can you create variable? How can we create variable? How can we create variable? How can we create variables? There are several rules to create a variable. So when you want to create a variable, we have to use several rules. So there are several rules to create a variable. What is the rule number 1? Rule number 1. So you must follow the rule. What is the rule number 1? Variable name. Variable name should not begin with number. So variable name should not begin with number. What it means that? Suppose when you write A, so it is correct. Suppose when you want to write 1A, it is wrong. Suppose A1 is correct, but 1A is wrong. So this is the correct. This is the wrong. Because variable name should not begin with number. That is the rule number 1. It is very, very important. What is the rule number 2? What is the rule number 2? Variable name may have A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9, dollar symbol, and underscore only. So variable name may have A to Z alphabets, capital and small, 0 to 9 digits. Sorry, dollar symbol. Dollar symbol and underscore only. Example. Suppose when you want to write student number, student underscore number. Suppose if you write like that, student hash number. So only first one is correct. So don't use any other symbols. Only you can use either dollar symbol or underscore only. So if you write any other symbol, your variable is invalid variable. Next, rule 3. Rule 3. Variable name does not contain white space. Variable name does not contain white space. White space is nothing but when you want to declare student name. So this is wrong. So don't give any space. Don't give any space in between variable name. So what is the correct? When you want to write student name, you can write like that. Student name, student underscore name, student dollar name, student dollar name. Only these are the contents is correct. Student name. So only these rules are correct. So these 3 rules are very, very important. The major important rule. Rule 4. Rule 4. Rule 4 is variable name simply say that keywords are not declared as variable name. So what are the keywords? So keywords is nothing but keywords is nothing but existing words in programming. Existing words. So already these words are implemented by the programmer. So don't use any keywords. So keywords means int, float, if, while, you know already. I don't want to give much explanation for this. I think everyone know about all these rules. So what is the first rule? Don't declare any variable with number. So the variable should not begin with number. Number to start off for them. Rule 2. If any variable, if you observe the variable name contains either capital letters or small letters or underscore dollar symbol ఇవే ఉండాలి. ఇది తప్ప ఇంకేదున్నా that is the invalid variable. What is the rule 3? So variable name మధ్యలో ఎక్కడ space ఉండకూడదు. Don't give any space in between variable name. If you want to give space, just you can use dollar symbol or underscore. Or else if you want to write directly, you can write. So direct గా without space లేకుండా రాసుకోవచ్చు. So this one is correct. This one is also correct. So keywords are not declared as variable name. Suppose I want to declare variable name as int. So it is wrong because int is already existing keywords. What are the existing keyword? Existing keywords is nothing but int, float, double, if, while. We will discuss. So already you know that about keywords also. So I will give you some list of the keywords in C language. C has 32 keywords. Please keep in your mind. How many keywords in C? C has 32 keywords. So these are the rules to create variable. Now, after creating variable, what is the use of the variable? Variable can store the data. Simply say that what is variable? Variable can store the data. So simply say that what is, somebody will ask you what is variable? It can store the data. What type of data it is? Suppose I want to store 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, or else I want to store -1, 2, 3, 4, or else -12. So I want to store these type of data. What is the these type of data? This is the positive data and the negative data. When you want data is called integer data. Such data is called integer data. So what is the data? Integer data. What integer data contains? Both positives and negatives. So this is the integer data. Now I want to store the data like that. 1.5, 12.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. So what is this type of data? This type of data is called floating data. This type of data is called floating data. Floating type of data. Floating is nothing but fractional data. Floating data. Now I want to store the data like that. A, B, C. What is this type of data? This type of data is called character data. Whenever I want to store these data, I want to use these variable only. Suppose whenever I want to store integer data, I can use variable only. Whenever I want to store floating data, I can use variable only. Whenever I want to store character data, I can use variable only. So here, how many types? Different types. So integer data, floating data, character data. So how many types? Different type of data. Different types. How many types are there? Different types. At the same time, integer log, if you observe 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, 2. So here also, if you observe integer log, different sizes. Float లో డిఫరెంట్ సైజెస్, క్యారెక్టర్ లో కూడా డిఫరెంట్ సైజెస్ ఉండొచ్చు. అంటే ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్, డిఫరెంట్ సైజ్. అంటే here if you observe, when you want to store variable to different size and different type, that is called data type. What is the data type? Data types are used to assign different size and type to variable. So what is the use of the data types? Data type is nothing but data types are used to assign specific size and type to the variable. So I can't understand your definition, sir. Can you tell me clearly? Of course. So data types are used to assign specific size and type. Specific size అంటే ఈ వేరియబుల్ లో ఎంత డేటా స్టోర్ అవ్వాలి, ఏ టైప్ లో డేటా స్టోర్ అవ్వాలి, వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా స్టోర్ వేరియబుల్ లో ఐ వాంట్ టు స్టోర్ వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా. నెక్స్ట్ ఏ సైజ్ లో కావాలి అనేది మనకి డేటా టైప్. అంటే డేటా టైప్స్ ఆర్ యూజ్డ్ టు స్పెసిఫై స్పెసిఫిక్ సైజ్ అండ్ టైప్ టు ది వేరియబుల్. So please try to understand what is data type. Data types are used to specify specific size and type to variable. అంటే మీకు అర్థం అవ్వకపోవచ్చు సార్, నాకు డిఫరెంట్ టైప్ అంటే అర్థమైంది కానీ డిఫరెంట్ సైజ్ అంటే ఐ కాంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్. కెన్ యూ టెల్ మీ క్లియర్లీ? అఫ్ కోర్స్. నౌ ఐ వాంట్ టు గివ్ యూ full length explanation for the sizes and types. Now first of all, data types. So first of all, you have to focusing on how many types of data types. There are the 3 types of data types. First one is predefined data types. Second one is derived data types. And the last one is user defined data types. So you see how many data types? 3 data types. So first one is predefined data types. Second one is what? Derived data types. Last one is what? User defined data types. So there are the 3 types of data types. Please listen. I have to focusing on every program clearly. First of all, you have to focusing on the basics. If you are good at basics, everything it will be well helpful for you. For suppose if you want to construct more number of floors, you have to focusing on simply say that roof only. ఆ రూఫ్ మీద నీవు ఫోకస్ పెట్టకుండా దేని మీద ఫోకస్ పెట్టినా నీకు అంతగా అర్థం అవ్వదు. ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్. types: predefined, derived, user defined. So I can't understand it, sir. Sir, some predefined data types in my college, in my classes, they explained different programming. Can you explain clearly? Of course. Just I want to give you clarification. Predefined is nothing but already existed data types. User defined is nothing but we have to define. Derived is nothing but it is derived with the, so user defined is nothing but derived data type is nothing but it is depending on predefined. So predefined is nothing but what is the predefined? Just I want to give you definition. What is, so most of the persons not thinking about what is predefined data type. So simply I want to give you definition. So a data type which is already existed in the programming language. A data type which is already existed in the programming language is called predefined data type. What is derived data type? A data type which is defined by the programmer with help of predefined data types. So just with definition, I want to give you different data types. So what is predefined? It is already existed. What are the existing data types? Already existing data types are short, int, float, long, double, boolean, char. So these are the existing data types. These data types are already existed. Already existed is nothing but predefined. Now, what is derived? What is derived is nothing but, just I want to clearly explain. What is derived is nothing but the derived data types are with the help of existing data types. Now, int ARR. So here I am defining one data type with the help of integer. This data type is called array. So array is what? Derived data type. Array is not a, array is derived data type. Array is not predefined data type. It is derived from the existing predefined data type. A data type which is defined by the programmer with the help of predefined. What is the predefined? Already existed data type. Here existed data type is what? Int. So what is the int? Int is the integer array. Suppose char. So char ch of 20. Suppose char ch. What is this? So this is called string. So array, string, or the what? Derived data types. So arrays, strings, these are the derived data types. What is the meaning of the derived data types? The data type which is defined by the programmer with the help of existing data types. Existing is nothing but predefined data type. Suppose if you call the data type directly, that is predefined because this data type is already existed in the programming language. Now I am using this programming language to develop the another data type that is called derived. So what is the user defined? User defined is nothing but type def, enum. These are the even structure union also user defined data types. So we will discuss later for these data types. Especially we have to understand only one thing. I don't want to explain all the theoretical information for you. You have to focus for programming. Just you can understand what are the predefined data types. So short, int, float, long, double, boolean, char. We mainly focusing on only these data types first. Then clearly we will discuss about arrays and strings later. So please students try to understand what I am explaining right now. Suppose short data type. Next int. Next long. Next float. Next double. next long double, next char, next boolean. So these are the existing data types. So what are these? These are the data types. So here sizes is also very important. So I can't understand, sir, what is the size? Size is nothing but I want to store 150 rupees in one variable. Just I want to store 150 data in a variable. Now, what is the size required? Now, what is the size required? Here, size is very important. Size is depending on data type. Now, here, when you try to observe, what is the short data type? The short data type holds 2 bytes of data. The short data type holds how much data? 2 bytes. So int also holds 2 bytes in 16-bit and 4 bytes in 32-bit. అంటే డేటా టైప్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఇప్పుడు జీసీసీ కంపేర్ అయితే ఇంటిజర్ ఎంత స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది 4 bytes. లాంగ్ ఈస్ 4 bytes. Float is also 4 bytes. Double 8 bytes. Long double is nothing but what? 10 bytes. So char can store 1 byte of data. Boolean is also store 1 byte of data. So these are the sizes. Sir, I can't understand what we explained. Can you explain me what is the use of this size? How can you measure it? Boolean means what? Okay, I will tell you. So please try to understand. Bit avanni manakundo. Bit avanni Java vastayi. So Boolean is nothing but it is used to store true or false values. Suppose when you want to store true or false values, you have to use Boolean. Char is used to store character. So float, double, long double can store floating values. Short, int, long can store integer values. So these three are the integers. These three are the categories of integers. Categories of integers. These three floating type. Carries, you know that characters. Boolean is for true or false values. So 2 bytes of data, 2 bytes, 4 bytes. See, these are the sizes. Now, if you want to store large amount of data, you can better to take longer integer. So if you take short data type, it can store only 2 bytes of data. If you want to store bulk amount of data for integer, you have to prefer long. When you want to store bulk amount of data for floating, you just prefer long double or double. So based on the data, you have to use either integer or float. So the type of the data is very important. Okay. Now I don't want to explain all these things. Directly we have to write the program. I request all the students just 15 minutes. You have to just 10 to 15 minutes.